C# provides a GroupBy extension method for grouping records on a common key. This tutorial starts with a brief introduction to the concept of grouping. Then we use the GroupBy extension to group records on a property called last name so that customers of the same last name are grouped together. The result is then displayed on a console. Create a C# console project for the latest version of .NET Core. Open the Solution Explorer and add a file called studentdata.cs. Add a record class to hold student data consisting of first name, last name, and a list of marks in 3 subjects. And since this is a tutorial, we can add a static member that provides us with some data. We have repeated a few last names for purposes of grouping. Now I'll talk about what is grouping. Grouping is a fairly complex topic that is taught in relational database courses. Here I will try to get you started. I will explain it in the simplest possible language that might not be technically very accurate, but I think I'll be able to explain the concept from a practical perspective. Grouping is basically done on a common property of various records of a table. For example, we can do a grouping on last names because many customers can have the same last name. The last name is called a key. We could also have done grouping on the first character of a name because there are always people whose names start with A, whose names start with B, and so on. The first character in this case is called a key. So the basic point here is that we would like to get a list of keys, with each key containing a list of records grouped with that key. A grouping is therefore a list of lists. So we would want to obtain a list of last names with each last name containing a list of customers who share that same last name. This is analogous to creating the index of a book. An index is also a list of lists. And let's now run a grouping on the dataset we created. Open the program.cs file so that we can write our program. First write the GroupBy function on the list of student data records. We have passed 2 arguments to this function. The first is a lambda that specifies the key for the groups. We have set the last name as the key. Key goes to key.lastName. The second argument is an anonymous with properties fname and lname. Objects of this anonymous type will be grouped under the key. This means that the key will contain a list of fname, lname items. And then we can run a for each loop on the grouping obtained above. First we print the key, and after that a nested for each loop prints the fname and lname properties. And let's run the project. We can verify that the grouping occurs on the last names. Students with the same last names are listed under the key for the last name. Thank you.